In the third week of a widening war on Iran, the United States Navy pushed the USS Boxer to leave roughly 3 weeks ahead of schedule. No official confirmed the mission, but the choice of ship said everything. Boxer is not a destroyer or a carrier. She is a Wasp-class amphibious assault ship, a mobile sea base carrying 2,500 Marines, aircraft, and landing craft in a single hull. The question is, what Washington needed them ready for. On March 20th, 2026, newswires carried a simple but jarring phrase. USS Boxer had left the West Coast about 3 weeks ahead of schedule. The language, first published by Reuters, landed with the weight of a warning. In the third week of a regional war, a full amphibious ready group, consisting of Boxer, her 2 escorts, and the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit, was racing toward the Middle East. Yet the Pentagon offered no details about the mission, and no official stepped forward to explain the urgency. The headlines spoke of thousands of Marines and sailors, but the real story was the nature of the ship itself. Boxer is not just another hull in the fleet. As a Wasp-class amphibious assault ship, she is built for complexity. The ship stretches 844 feet, displaces over 40,000 tons, and serves as a floating airfield, barracks, command post, and hospital all at once. She can carry roughly 2,500 Marines, an entire Marine Expeditionary Unit, along with a full complement of aircraft. Those aircraft include MV-22 Ospreys for rapid troop movement, CH-53E Super Stallions for heavy lift, and F-35B Lightning, 2 jets for strike missions. The Welldeck can launch LCAC hovercraft or landing craft utility vessels, allowing forces to move from sea to shore without relying on foreign bases. The timing of Boxer's departure turned a routine deployment into a signal. In a conflict that was shifting by the day, the decision to send a full amphibious ready group early suggested that Washington wanted options: immediate, scalable, and sea-based. The ship's design allows commanders to respond to a spectrum of scenarios, from non-combatant evacuation to amphibious assault. Officials declined to confirm whether Boxer's Marines might be tasked with securing the Strait of Hormuz or targeting Iran's Karg Island, but the possibilities were openly discussed in defense circles and the press. What was clear to analysts was this: a Wasp-class ship like Boxer brings a unique mix of aviation, amphibious lift, command capability, and medical support, all in one platform. In a crisis, it is not just about sending more ships. It is about sending the right kind of ship at the right time to keep every option open. The deployment was not a matter of sending a single ship. The Boxer Amphibious Ready Group sailed as a unified force, combining 3 distinct vessels: USS Boxer as the flagship, USS Comstock, a dock landing ship, and USS Portland, an amphibious transport dock. This trio formed the backbone of a full amphibious ready group, carrying the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit, roughly 2,500 Marines, alongside the ship's own sailors and command staff. The scale of this movement was deliberate. Rather than a symbolic gesture, it brought a complete, self-sustaining amphibious force into the region, equipped to respond across a spectrum of scenarios. The structure of the Amphibious Ready Group matters. Boxer provided the aviation hub and command suite. Comstock delivered additional well-deck capacity for landing craft, and Portland handled troop transport and logistics. Together, these ships enabled rapid launch of MV-22 Ospreys, CH-53E Super Stallions, and F-35B Lightning II jets, as well as surface movement of Marines and vehicles by LCACs and LCUS. The group's combined assets allowed for air assault, amphibious landings, and sustained operations without relying on foreign bases. As Boxer and her escorts crossed the Pacific, News outlets confirmed that a second Marine Expeditionary Unit was already moving toward the Middle East. By late March, 2 Marine Expeditionary Units, each built around a full Amphibious Ready Group, were converging on the theater. This layered presence gave U.S. commanders the ability to rotate forces, cover multiple contingencies, and maintain operational tempo if the conflict expanded. Public statements from Pentagon officials avoided specifics, but analysts noted that such a force could support everything from maritime security in the Strait of Hormuz to the possibility of a ground operation against Iran's Karg Island. No mission details were released. The logic was clear: field a flexible, scalable amphibious force that could adapt to changing demands. In a region where access to ports and airfields could not be guaranteed, the Boxer Amphibious Ready Group offered a floating base with its own aviation, command, and medical facilities. The presence of 2 Marine Expeditionary Units in the area underscored Washington's desire for options, redundancy, surge capacity, and the ability to respond to events as they unfolded. This was not just about numbers, but about the kind of power projection that only a full Amphibious Ready Group can deliver. Pentagon officials maintained a careful silence as Boxer crossed the Pacific, offering only that the deployment would provide the president with additional options in the Middle East. No one confirmed whether Boxer's Marines would be called to secure the Strait of Hormuz, support a ground action on Karg Island, or conduct non-combatant evacuations. This lack of detail was not an oversight. When a ship like Boxer enters a crisis zone, ambiguity itself becomes a strategic asset. The ship's design supports this approach. Unlike a destroyer, which signals a narrow set of missions, or a carrier, which is tied to air power, Boxer's mixed capabilities keep adversaries guessing. Within a single platform, commanders gain access to aviation, amphibious lift, command centers, and medical facilities. The language from the Department of Defense reflected this mindset. Statements described the deployment as expanding the range of operational options and giving U.S. leaders tools to address a rapidly evolving security environment. Boxer's presence complicates the calculations of any potential adversary. With the ability to launch aircraft, move Marines ashore, and coordinate complex joint operations, the ship can pivot between missions as the situation demands. This flexibility is not theoretical. Doctrinal comparisons highlight that destroyers and carriers lack the well deck, troop capacity, and command infrastructure needed for amphibious operations or mass evacuation. By keeping the mission undefined, Washington preserved freedom of action. The ship's versatility, rather than any single technical feature, became the message. In a region where plans can change overnight, silence about intent and a platform built for multiple contingencies send a warning all their own. Boxer's physical dimensions and onboard systems turn abstract strategy into tangible power. At 844 feet in length and displacing roughly 40,500 tons, the ship is a floating fortress large enough to host a full Marine Expeditionary Unit and still maneuver at over 20 knots. She carries up to 2,070 embarked troops, supported by a core crew of more than 1,100 sailors, and can sustain operations for 30 days without resupply. The flight deck is rated for 34 aircraft, including F-35B Lightning II fighters, MV-22 Ospreys, and CH-53E Super Stallions. This mix allows for simultaneous air assault, close air support, and rapid casualty evacuation, all from a single hull. The well deck accommodates 2 landing craft air cushion vehicles, or 1 landing craft utility, giving commanders the ability to launch mechanized forces directly onto a contested shoreline or move supplies ashore without relying on foreign ports. The medical suite rivals a small hospital, with 4 operating rooms, a 24-bed intensive care unit, and a 90-bed ward, enough to treat mass casualties or serve as a floating trauma center during humanitarian crises. Boxer's command spaces are wired for integrated joint operations, with a combat information center and a forward joint operations center that can coordinate multi-domain missions across air, sea, and land. These specifications are not just numbers on a fact sheet. In a region where access to airfields or ports can disappear overnight, Boxer's endurance and self-sufficiency give United States leaders a full spectrum of options, evacuating civilians, launching amphibious assaults, or serving as a forward command post, all without setting foot on foreign soil. The ability to pivot from strike operations to humanitarian relief using the same platform is the kind of flexibility that a destroyer or carrier cannot replicate. In a crisis, these capabilities become leverage. Every ton, every bed, every aircraft slot is a calculated answer to the question of what the United States might need next. With no public mission disclosed, Boxer's early arrival, carrying 2,500 Marines and the full Amphibious Ready Group, signals a demand for flexible power. In a region where options matter, this Wasp-class platform stands ready for scenarios from coastal landings to air operations. Deterrence now travels by sea. Share your perspective below.